Hi, we're on VMworld 2011 and we have a small chat with the guys from Whiptail. Why we like to talk with them? Because they bring a brand new solution with a high performance storage solution. But first question, can you tell me a little bit about your product?
Sure. So my name is Brian Feller. I run marketing and alliances for Whiptail Tech. What Whiptail has is a entirely flash-based unit called the Accelerator. The Accelerator is dedicated to accommodating and giving those performance that are required by high I/O demanding applications. One of the reasons we're presenting here at VMworld is obvious. One of the broadest challenges to broader and wider deployment of VDI is the fact that it is such a high I/O requirement, specifically write IOs. So our unit, which is, well, there's a picture of it over here and over here. Our unit is a 2U appliance that is completely populated with MLC flash-based drives. So the difference between us and, say, a traditional storage vendor that's using SLC, which is much more expensive, is we're able to bring out a unit at cost parity or less than traditional storage. So for the same amount of money you'd be spending on slow spinning disks, you can now go 100 times faster with an entirely flash-based array.
Okay, well, great. Yeah, one of the big questions, and I think that's the most important thing, the business case. The business case about VDI, we have a big problem to close that thing. There's a problem to bring a good solution for a good price. Do you think Whiptail bring us a new era with this kind of way of work?
Yeah, so I mean, at the end, it's easier if I hold it. At the end of the day, the VDI is about getting your arms around the costs associated with desktop management. So if you're an end user and you have a typical benchmark that I want to spend this much money on my desktop management, if I want to roll out a VDI scenario and I shatter that dollar amount and go a lot higher because of my storage costs, well, that creates a TCO that's unreasonable, and I might as well just stay in a distributed model. So there had to be some sort of tipping point technology that allowed people to do that. Again, our unit does that. So we've deployed tens of thousands of VDI users because ours is so dense and has the ability to give that write I/O. So we actually can do 250,000 write I/O in a single 2U appliance. So when you look at that compared with, say, a shelf of traditional storage, it's 2,500 I/O, and that's not right. We can do 250,000 write I/O. So when you talk about the business case, we take traditional storage is around $300 per user. In our scenario, we're down to less than $30 per user, which now injects an automatic TCO and a much more quickly realized ROI, and makes a business case for VDI. If I can spend pennies per I/O as opposed to dollars per I/O, it makes sense now to go into a virtualized desktop model.
Okay, well, it sounds great to me, and I think that's a big, it will help us, absolutely. Another question, what we have, the SSD disks, there is a till going on that those disks are broke in a short time because you're using them extensively. What can you tell me about warranty about that stuff?
Yeah, so probably the biggest issue you have to be concerned with any type of flash, whether it's SLC or MLC, is the wear endurance. It does burn out very quickly. It creates hotspots, and due to those hotspots, the drives end up having their end of life happen much more quickly than you would expect. So, for example, with our unit, we utilize a software layer that peanut butters and wear manages that endurance. So instead of having these things wear out in 3 to 6 months or 12 months, we guarantee these drives for the life of the unit. So it's beyond 7 years. And that is one of the big keys, because we're the only vendor in the world that will actually guarantee from a life endurance perspective for drives. So anybody can warranty a drive, and we do, but beyond that, what happens if the drive just artificially ends its life after 2 years or 3 years or 1 year? You're stuck buying a brand new drive, and that's a costly proposition. That's not what the end users want to hear. With us, if a drive did for some reason kick a little bit early, you get a brand new drive at no cost as long as you're on support.
All right, well, thank you for the quick overview and the answers on those questions. They're quite important for us. And, well, I'd like to work with you in future.